Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, we're going to be running through the Toolbox Talk program right now. Up on my screen, which everybody should see, is the FCA invite for this webinar. Tony, can you just verify that you guys are seeing my screen?
We can. Okay,
thank you. All right, so yeah, I'm excited to bring this Toolbox Talk program to you guys. It is, as a member of FCA, free for you guys and a great opportunity for you guys to take advantage of the library of Toolbox Talks we have available. As you can see, as part of the invite, it's about an $800 a year value. So it's a great opportunity for you guys. The purpose today is to run through the system so you're familiar how to use it. And then when we're done with the webinar, you will be logged in. We'll give you that key access, and you'll know how to navigate the system. So to get to the website, it is mysafetyapps.com. So that's mysafetyapps.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a client login. So you're going to go ahead and go to client login, and I'm going to log in as my fake company I made for today. So as was stated earlier, each company will have one login. Feel free to share that with the superintendents, foreman, or maybe just one person in the company is going to administer this and download the Toolbox Talks and email them out from there, or maybe even send them into the field. So a bunch of different ways to administer. Once you're logged in here, you're going to go to the Focus 3 end of this. So that is the application that's going to house all your Toolbox Talks. And it is a library, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, of 216 documents. So not all Toolbox Talks. Up front, we have a sign-in sheet and some schedules. So you're going to have access to about 210 Toolbox Talks, all in English and Spanish. So you're looking at about 105 topics. So there's a lot on here, a lot for you to access. First and foremost, the first line item on here is a Toolbox Talks sign-in sheet. So maybe your company already has a sign-in sheet that you want to utilize. If so, great. If not, this is available for you. So you could simply launch it. And from here, you can either download the sign-in sheet, or you can go ahead and print it. Pretty straightforward. Another way to access this would, you could just click the download button and open it automatically. We'll pull this up over here. You can fill out the sign-in sheet with your company's name. You can populate the topic if you would like, or you could have your foreman or superintendent in the field be filling this information out. Very important, though, that we have a sign-in sheet anytime you do a Toolbox Talk. So you want to do the training so your employees get the education, and we need to document it and retain the training in case there's ever an occurrence where maybe OSHA is asking for training records. So a couple other items here on the sign-in sheet that I would highly recommend utilizing. 3 major points discussed with the crew. So that's very important to identify 3 major points each time you're doing a weekly Toolbox Talk. It's easy to remember 3 takeaways. Also, any site-specific hazards. So what's going on the job site? Maybe it relates to the topic. Maybe it relates to something else. But some site-specific hazards, and how are we going to get those addressed? And any employee concerns. So a weekly Toolbox Talk meeting is not only great to pour in education to your employees, but also get some feedback from them. How are things going? What do we need to improve on? What are we doing good? What do we need more of? And then having everybody sign in with print signature, and if you have employee IDs, I would recommend you use that as well. So a tool here as part of the site, you can utilize it. Again, if you have your own sign-in sheet, that is great. Another tool as part of the site is we have prefix schedules. So 52-week Toolbox Talk schedule for the trades that are associated to the FCA. So I'm going to go ahead and download the drywall finishing. That'll pop up here in a second. And I would recommend that you go off this 52-week schedule. This is going to identify topics that are going to be relative to your employees and your industry. So the example that I like to get is when I work for a general contractor, the iron workers on site laying rebar in the deck handed in their weekly toolbox talk of climbing communication cell towers. And so I asked the foreman, when was the last time you climbed a communication cell tower? And he told me he never has, and he never will. So a little bit silly to waste the time and energy on doing a topic that's not relevant to what you're doing. So these will be relevant to what you're doing. I also like a prefix schedule here because it's going to make sure we hit some regulatory topics. For example, PPE dust masks, right? If we're using dust masks on a voluntary basis, we're going to want to make sure that everyone's assigning Appendix D annually. That Toolbox Talk covers Appendix D. So if you're doing that Toolbox Talk annually, you're compliant to that standard. The HAZCOM, hitting that every year. Fall protection, hitting that every year. So some major topics in here. If we were doing the Toolbox Talk for this week, you could see we'd be on rebar caps. So if we're following a schedule, we're getting the information that we need. Not to say you can't double up in a week. Let's say we're having an issue with fall protection and the topic's rebar caps. Don't skip that. Maybe you just want to do another one that week talking about harnesses and lanyards. To search for the Toolbox Talks, you can simply type in the name of the Toolbox Talk, or they all have this code next to them. So we could do it that way. So let's go ahead and pull a couple of these up. So simply just start typing in the name or the code, and it's going to filter it down. Like I said, all these Toolbox Talks are in English and Spanish. If the code ends in a 1, it's English. If it ends in a 2, it's Spanish. So I can go ahead and launch this, and we're going to see that I can print this out or download it. And right here with the Toolbox Talk, I learn a lot just by looking at this without reading anything. I learned that vertical rebar needs to be protected, not with the mushroom style cap, as it'll just poke through, but this square flat cap. So we have some imagery on here. It's not just all reading. And again, these are in Spanish as well. So we can go ahead and download or print right from here. If I download this, it's going to pop up in a PDF document. And you can either email this out to your supervisors on site. We have some companies that'll put it in the paychecks, send it out with timesheets. I would recommend doing the Toolbox Talk first thing Monday morning. Kind of get the cobwebs out of your head from the weekend, get your head back in the game, talk about a little safety. Just to show some other topics here. If I start looking up fall protection, you can see there's a number of different fall protection topics. Personal fall arrest. Going to give us a lot of information on harnesses and lanyards. Guardrails. It's going to give us the information on proper guardrails, wood guardrails, wire guardrails. So again, there's over 100 topics, English and Spanish. If it's just something specific that you're looking for, go ahead and punch it in. Dust mask was another one that I called out, and you can see here that this is going to have the Appendix D information on here. It needs to be signed annually if employees are using dust masks on a voluntary basis. So I would recommend doing this one every year. One last thing with the schedule. So we send the Toolbox Talk out. We send out a sign-in sheet. We need to get that back and file it away. So one thing with the schedule we have on the second sheet here. So you have the schedule. If you print this out, it'll print nicely on one sheet of paper. And then on page 2, we have a tracking sheet. So you can utilize this by throwing your foreman or supervisor's names in here, whoever's responsible for leading the Toolbox Talks. And as the talks are coming back your way, you can start marking them off, right? Okay, so we need to enroll everybody, enroll all the companies. So if you could do me a favor, right when this webinar ends, if you can contact Darlene. Her email is on the screen right now if you want to write that down if you don't have it. If you could send her an email with your name and company, once we get all the emails from everybody on this webinar, we will be enrolling you into the program as early as tomorrow if we can. So if everyone can reach out to her as soon as possible, that would be great. And then also we wanted to talk about, we have the safety helpline, FCA safety helpline set up. You see the number there or the email. So that's for you guys if you guys have a safety question, safety-related question, are looking for a quick answer. We'll respond within 24 hours, giving you any feedback, compliance, OSHA compliance, safety management systems, whatever questions you may have.
All right, I don't hear any questions and I don't see any hands raised, Drew. So thank you very much for doing this for us. I appreciate it. I would also encourage anybody who's on here who has not been involved with our monthly safety meetings and the things we're doing. I encourage you to go ahead and get involved with that also. Drew's helping us along with that and helping Mr. Randy Bender help us push things forward for things like this. This all came out of the safety committee and the needs that they were looking for. So Drew, thank you very much. I'll give it one last shot. Any questions before we go ahead and say goodbye and end the meeting for everybody?
So I am getting one chat question. It says safety helpline, state specific question mark. So we are going to field these questions. We will get back to you within 24 hours. But if it is state specific question, yeah, we will do. My team here is about 5 safety professionals. So if I don't personally know it, I can research it. I can bounce it off someone else. We'll get back to you with an answer within 24 hours. So if you're looking for some state specific, if you are state OSHA, yeah, let us know any questions you have.
And Drew, just to clarify, I think that's kind of the worst case scenario is during regular business hours and central time, I guess I'll say, there's a very good chance that somebody will be able to, that somebody will answer and respond right away, possibly on generic questions too, right? We're just saying that the worst case scenario is 24 hours on specifics?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Worst case scenario. The line is monitored. Well, it's monitored 24 hours, but we say Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. So if it's a call on a Saturday, you might not get a response till Monday. So just keep that in mind. I am getting another question here through the chat asking if the Toolbox Talks are copyrighted and if multiple copies can be sent out. So they are copyrighted, so you want to be able to take it and sell it. But yeah, utilize it as much as you need within your company. Print them out, send them out to your field. Make sure you're training your employees. One tool to help train your employees.
All right, anything else? Excellent. Well, we're excited about it. We hope you guys found the value. If you do have any comments about the value in that, please share those with Darlene also. And if you could get those your emails requesting that, yes, you do want this access, and then they'll get everything put up this week so you can get rolling. And then please give us any feedback that you see on the process too, in case there's something maybe we can look to enhance it. But we'll get this thing rolling for you. So thanks again, everybody, for taking the time. And I believe we got something here that'll work out well for everybody. So take care. Have a great night.